Welcome to Tokyo Station, and in this episode we're going to go over all the tourism information that I could pull from the tourism office here in Tokyo Station in English. Look at this hall here. We're going to go through it all. It could be quite enlightening because you always learn something new when you pull stuff from the walls. And I'm doing it here because I'm going to return this because I obviously don't want to add this to the collection of information that's in my office. How you doing, everybody? It's a beautiful day in Tokyo. I thought I would go outside, enjoy myself. Actually, I sent the postcards for our Patreon supporters at that building right there. This is the Kite building. I'm always sending the postcards from there. You can get one too. Oh, it's a little bit windy. So let's go through this. I'm really curious because more tourists are coming here to Japan, and every time they come here, they ask me questions about what more they could see. This is the best way to do it. Just go and pull it. Now, this is the information office here. This is the north side of Tokyo's Marunouchi station. Inside of there is a tourism office, and this is beautiful inside, isn't it? This is where you will find like all of the passes, and there's English-speaking staff in here. If you have a JR Rail pass, you can also validate it in there. I don't know if they still do it like that, but this is an important place. It was full of tourists. And I went inside here and I found all the English information that I could possibly pull. And the stuff about passes on the wall there. You can see it's quite crowded. The guy on the right side, he's Japanese, part of the staff there, and he was speaking English to the tourists to help them with their planning of their trip planning, which I think is great. When I came to Japan 25 years ago, it's blurry because everything was black and white back then. You didn't get a lot of English information. In fact, if you wanted to find someone, even at a place like Tokyo Station, it was maybe somebody in line would help you who could speak English, so it made sense to learn Japanese in Japan. I don't think you could find in the United States people speaking other languages too often outside of perhaps New York City. So it is a unique thing, and I'm really grateful for that too, because for all of you visiting Japan, you want to be able to, and you probably don't speak Japanese. All right, let's get to this. By the way, thanks everybody. Every time I get super chats, I try to put that to good use. So I wanted to also try this Sakura Frappuccino that they had down in the basement. They still give you paper straws here in Japan, but it could be good. It doesn't taste like Sakura. It does not taste, it's all right. Let's just say it's nice to have a cool and refreshing drink. All right, let's get to it. Wow, this is a lot of stuff here. So, first off, I found this. This is interesting. So I know that Tohoku is really working hard to try to promote it. This is a map for Morioka, and I think I got this exact same map when I was in Morioka not too long ago, and it tells you all of the cultural assets here. I like this: art galleries, museums, and then there's a map if you open it up. Morioka, everything is within like 2 kilometers, and this is why it was the #1 city. Uh-oh, I lost something. They snuck something in here, they snuck like a questionnaire in there. Interesting, okay. It was the #1 city according to the ranking of the top 52 destinations by the New York Times. And I was curious, sorry, #1 in Japan. I think it was #2 overall after London. And I think it was just because everything was within a 2 kilometer radius. So I mean, you could find just about everything that you want right there. I gotta fold this map up right because I'm returning it. The next thing I want to show you on our hit list, if I don't fold it up right, I wonder if I can, I'll fold it up right, don't worry about it. Next up is this one here that keeps flying away. This is the stop and visit beautiful Otsuki on your way to Mount Fuji. I think they could have used different emoji. They're working hard here. The emoji is the text or the font. Enjoy good food, shopping, and the sights in Otsuki, and get an original postcard. Really? Well, you can get that with only in Japan too, but you gotta pay. Between February 20th and March 31st, they have something. There's a QR code if you want to scan that. Just take a screenshot and play back here. I don't know too much about Otsuki. I know that, you know, they should put a map and show exactly where it is. Probably in Shizuoka Station, right? And in Shizuoka Prefecture. But it's cool. You get it. It's everything is in English, and you get to get a free postcard. And there's a shout out to Otsuki. All right, the heartland of onsens. This sounds very compelling, doesn't it? Really, I love onsen, which is Japanese hot springs here, and they show you some of the things. So I see cherries. I think of Yamagata. So I'm guessing they didn't say Yamagata, but I'm guessing it's Yamagata because cherries are so famous there. They don't actually... The thing is, they tell you the name of the place, but they don't actually tell you where this place is, what prefecture. Where the heck is Tendo? I think they need to put a map on there so that, like, on the map of Japan, where is it? So I know this is... I've been here before because this is... I stayed here, actually, when I was on a trip to Tohoku for JNTO, I think it was. I remember in the station they had these shogi pieces in there. That's where I think that game originated from there. Everything is in like shogi pieces, designs inside of there. But they do have some really good onsen there. I remember because I stayed at one when I was there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in Yamagata, but they don't even say it's in Yamagata. That's a little bit weird. And there's not even a map to tell you where it is in Japan. So I'm not sure that's a good thing. You can see there's the Tendo beef, which is one of the 350 brands of Wagyu beef in Japan. They also have wine, sake, wood crafts. So it's good information. And they have a city map here. But again, like, okay, it's really small on the back there. And it's not the whole Japan. So if you're not familiar with the shape of Japan, it'd be really hard to find it. But it is in Yamagata Prefecture. Not too far away from Akita Station. So between Yonezawa and Akita. Interesting. All right, so there you go. Tendo had a brochure in Tokyo Station. Let's keep going here. Whoa. Nasushiobara. We were just there. And they made their information both in Korean and Japanese and English, so they didn't have to waste a lot of paper, which is probably a good thing. Let me see if I tilt it over here, I might get a little bit more light. Over 1,000 years of hot spring. They've got skiing. They've got festivals. They have horse-drawn buggies and art. Wow, everything's in Korean. I'm guessing I picked up the Korean one. So, yeah. I think when you see this in English here, it makes you think... It doesn't tell you everything is in Korean. So, something maybe they need to work on with their information. Like maybe a tab here that says Korean, because you see, this is the Japanese here, and then you see Korean, and then you see English, so I don't know, it's a little bit confusing. It's a beautiful area in Tochigi, so highly worth it. I can't believe I found a map from Miyazaki here at Tokyo Station. This is like one of the furthest places that you could possibly go. On the other side, the far end of Kyushu. And I love the fact that Miyazaki's putting their stuff here. Miyazaki, we know exactly where that is. But again, I think that all these places, she needs to put a full map of Japan and then highlight the area of where it is, so just people know where it is. Miyazaki may be the most relaxing prefecture in Japan. The resort life, activities, sightseeing. I think it's also one of the best places for food. I was just there a couple of days ago, filming gyoza and beef. The Wagyu beef is number one in the world. Won the Wagyu Olympics. They even have moai. Look at that. I didn't know that. This is down on the coast. So there's so many things on the bottom of Miyazaki Prefecture that I think a lot of people, someone's blowing their nose over there. A lot of people don't know this area of Miyazaki Prefecture down in the south. And up here between Oita and Miyazaki, not a lot of people know, because Miyazaki City is right in the central south. And most people will go back and forth between Kagoshima here, through Kobayashi, another town there. But it's a beautiful prefecture. If you do make it off of the beaten path, it's totally worth it to go to Miyazaki. Funny to see that information in Tokyo Station, though. All right, this was really interesting to me because I live in one of Tokyo's 23 cities. My town is called Chuo. So I've been telling you over the last week here that Tokyo is not a city. It's actually like a state. It's a prefecture. It's a to. It's a metropolitan area, not a city. And within there is the city of Chuo, and that's my city. And they have English information, and they're promoting the guides here. This is a guide standing in front of Nihonbashi, and you can book informative guides. I think I might do that one time. I might call them up and see if this is something that we can do together. Chuo City, my city, has the Kabukiza Theater. It's got Ginza. It's got Nihonbashi. There's a lot of stuff in my town. Tsukishima, which is Monjayaki town. And I think it's really cool to have guides here. But and on the backside, they have everything in Japanese. It's just a walk around the center. And Chuo City also has a Pokémon stamp rally going on here until the March 24th. That's super interesting. And if you get all the stamps, you can take it and claim presents. There's a QR code. I guess you can scan that. Oh, there you go. If you're interested in that. There's a way to do it using this app called Furari. Sounds like Ferrari. And there's a Pokemon Cafe. Oh, so Pokemon Cafe is in Chuo City. That's my city. I didn't know that all the stuff was in my town. Interesting. So there you go. That's super interesting. You know, I don't often, pick up tourist information from your own town, so you don't know what's going on. So there's some kind of jelly in this Sakura Frappuccino. I don't know. It doesn't taste... cherry blossom should taste a little bit salty. I think that's what's missing from it. Kind of disappointing. It's not worth the $7. Look at that. It was like 732 yen, I think it was. So I'm not sure it was worth that. I think I'm going to stick to regular coffee. Once every couple of months, I might go and splurge on something that's off of menu, not coffee. And yeah, this is that one time. The only time I was really satisfied was when they had like melon frappuccino. That was pretty good. All right, back to it. Yeah, the cherry blossoms are typically marinated or preserved in the salt, so it does have that flavor, a floral, salty taste. All right, this is important. I think if you pick up this might be useful. This is the map of Spaceboat, and the other. Well, I think there's two companies that are not doing it. They were like zombie towns, zombie boats for 2-3 years. They would go by and they'd have to keep the schedule up. Nobody was on it. Now tourists are returning to it. The Suica bus is a lot of fun, and here's the schedule. It's not only in Japanese, but another reason to learn the kanji here. And they tell you where the ferry piers are in Asakusa, near Hamamatsucho Station, and there's even one in Yogoku, so you get riverboat tours. That's cool. This is important for you. All right, so this is, of course, it was JR, so they have JR East stuff here. This is the brochure for the Shinkansen, and their JR East Pass. This JR East Pass Tohoku area is really cool. You got the snow monsters, which are still there right now. You have the Cherry Blossom Festival in Hirosaki by the castle. I'm going to try to go there this year if you guys are into it. You have Aomori Prefecture's Oirase Gorge, which is so beautiful in the spring. There's the Nagano snow monkeys at Yain Koen. I covered that. Tokyo, and then you see the beautiful autumn foliage of the Miyagi area. There's two passes here, and you don't have to be a tourist to get this. This is the pass that I can get, so I'm really happy about that. I don't know if I can get this one, but I can get this one, and maybe I think I can now. It's 20,000 yen, or about, what is that, like $165 now? You get 5 consecutive days of travel on the Shinkansen to Tohoku, and that's just the north part of Japan. That's so much, so cheap, and I think it's a great value. Instead of getting a 2-week JR Rail pass, maybe you get 1 week and then this pass, which you can get any time. You don't have to, you can buy it here at the office. There's also the Tokyo Wide Pass, which is, I've gotten that quite a bit. That's 10,000 yen for 3 consecutive days in the Tokyo area, which also includes a lot of Niigata and Nagano and like Karuizawa and Utsunomiya, for example. Just a round trip to Utsunomiya and back is about the price, and then you have 2 days to go and explore. You can also use that to ride everywhere in Tokyo on JR trains. There's the Narita Express, which I never have taken because it's just a ripoff, because you have the bus that's like $10, and it's more convenient. And then the other rail passes here are here. The Hokuriku Arch Pass looks pretty interesting. This is a pass that I can't get. You have to be an actual tourist to get these other passes here. But the South Hokkaido one, you probably want to get that if you're going to Hakodate, because this includes the Shinkansen that goes through the tunnel. And this is another 4,000 yen. I can't get this, but you get that view, which is pretty awesome. And then if you want to go to Sapporo, you got to pay a little bit more. But again, like, it's worth it. You get an extra day, 6 consecutive days. That's worth it, actually. 1 extra day, and you include Sapporo on there. That's a great deal, because a flight on ANA costs, for one way, this ticket price, unless you book like 45 days in advance or something. That's a really good deal. All right, JR's doing a pretty good job there. Keep it up. They actually had a brochure on the Welcome Suica for short-term use. It's a handy IC card that allows one-touch payment, blah, blah, blah. So I was curious about this because I did an episode on this just a couple of days ago, and so it can be used within 28 days of purchase of the card. Adults, there's ones for kids available because kids are half price and everything. And I guess there's the QR code if you want to scan that, get all the information, just take a screenshot of it. Where to purchase your Welcome Suica card? That's what I want to know. You can get them from the JR East Travel Center at Narita Airport, Haneda Airport, and major stations, which includes this one, maybe Shinjuku Station. I think you have to have a visa, so you have to show that to them to get it. But you can get them from the vending machines? Really? I guess you have to have some sort of paper reference when you enter into Japan to show that you are here. Check the standby screen for the Suica mark, reprint reference paper. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on with tourism that makes it easier for you and harder for me. Just let me have what you have. And you can see your journey. That's great because you don't have to pay that 500 yen, and I guess, people, they don't want everyone taking home those IC cards. They're valuable. So these Suica ones, these welcome ones, are a little bit cheaper made. But yeah, you can take them home and they expire. You can charge them up at convenience stores and stuff. So there you go. I got a brochure on it inside of the station, which was pretty cool. All right, this is I saw this. They always put the exhibitions that are going on at Bueno Museum. Right now they have dinosaurs going on until June 18th. So that's pretty cool. Which one is this? This is the Natural Museum of Nature Science in Ueno Park. And I believe the only days they're only closed on Mondays. All museums are closed on Mondays. That's pretty cool. The one in Fukui, if you like dinosaurs, is world class. The Fukui Dinosaur Museum is world class. It's worth going if you're interested in dinosaurs. If you have a son who's really, it's worth taking the train and going out there to see that museum. Kawagoe English. This is great. They put it in English so you don't pick up the wrong one. They made everything in English, so there's no Japanese. I think they should put some Japanese so you get accustomed to seeing Kawagoe in Japanese would be nice. And there's some discounts in this brochure, so you definitely want to pick it up. It tells you how to get there. It tells you the reference points. This is a great brochure. I didn't even think I was going to be judging the brochures, but some of them you can tell are just way better than another one. And they have a discount passes. What is that? It's about $8 US, children half price for train, bus, and then special offers. I like this. So they really worked hard to put this together. This is a great map. Look at this. It's very colorful. Kimono rental. They put in a lot of stuff that you might be interested in right from the station, so when you arrive, you can get started. And they've given you some of the best routes for Kawagoe. This is a wonderful map. So pick this one up if you're interested in it. And here's all the points, not by number, because there's so many numbers on the map. They did it by letter. And the shops are by number. That's smart. That's really smart. And then the buses, which are so confusing, they made it easy for you by showing you on the map where exactly it is. And then they show you the happy people at the Tobu Information Center. Yeah, and look at that. And there's a train line so you don't take the wrong one. Color-coded with all the stations in English. Very cool. And a 5% off gift coupon from Tobu Department Store at Ikebukuro. Show your Kawagoe discount pass and you get a discount. That is really cool. Kawagoe is on the ball, man. This is in Saitama. It's a really great place and totally worth it. Visiting up there. Chichibu. I picked this up because it was interesting. They had another brochure. I think it was in Japanese, though. Chichibu is this area. It's actually in Tokyo. Or is it Tokyo? Or it's like right on the Tokyo-Saitama border. But it's one of the most beautiful places, especially in spring. And you have these flower gardens. I think you can see up to Mount Fuji. But what makes this interesting, this information, is that they have a taxi service attached to it. And I tried something like this. When was this? I guess when I was hitchhiking in Totori, they had a taxi service where you could pay a certain amount, and for like 2 hours, the taxi driver would take you, and you wouldn't have to worry about the meter. So what they have here are routes for the Chichibu area for people who don't want to rent a car. You have this option. For 2 hours, you can get a taxi for 8,000 yen. Again, you don't have to tip or anything like that. In fact, don't tip. 3 hours, so it's 4,000 yen per hour, and I think that's pretty fair, including the gas and the car and everything. And you're getting taken directly to the tourist places that maybe you want to hit. And this makes a lot of sense, in particular, if you have more than one person, right? So if there's 2 or 3 of you, that certainly makes sense. And if you're even by yourself, it's an economic decision, just a time wasted to take buses and stuff. Taxis is so much better. And this one includes icicle period. Oh, you go to see the icicles? What? That's so cool. And there's strawberry picking, because the strawberries are inside of greenhouses, so the strawberry picking's in the winter. Yeah, it's interesting. I think this might be something that's worthwhile. 2 hours for 8,000 yen if you have 2 or 3 people. That's absolutely a good deal. Recommend for groups. Up to 6 passengers per taxi? What? So you can have 6 people, and if you split this, it's 3 hours of a taxi tour for like 1,200 yen a person, which is $10. That's a really great deal if you get a posse together. So that's the Chichibu Rakutoku taxi. Interesting. Like, I love this. You never know what you're gonna find. Time Out, which is the famous online info site, has a 60 things to do in Tokyo. So let's see what the first 10 are. I'm always curious. What's number 1? Number 1, admire the resurrected icon. Okay. Explore the world of Verdant brews. This looks like Kyoto. I guess they have a shop in Kyoto. This is all in central Tokyo things to do. These are things I didn't really think about doing. Marvel at the Marble. Really? Okay. Wake up in the 60s. That's easy to do here. Raise your glass to a fancy bird. I guess that's yakitori. Rethink stand-up sushi. That's interesting. So they have 60 things in here, and these are stuff I could make live streams about. Yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, you can pick this one up and kick off the evening in style. So you could just pick up this map and follow it, and you probably get a pretty interesting experience out of it. It's a timeout 60 things map here. You guys have any questions? You can write in the live chat. I'm looking here a little bit. It's a live stream. This is a Tohoku tourism map, and I've always been curious about these maps because Tohoku encompasses. Do you guys know the prefectures of Tohoku? It's Fukushima, Miyagi, Yamagata, Akita, Iwate, and Aomori. and this is the northern part of it. And again, this is the place most impacted by the tsunami and earthquake in 11 years ago. Wait, hold on. 12 years ago. Was it 13 years ago today? Wow. 13 years ago today, on this day, we're celebrating. I guess I shouldn't say celebrating. We're memorializing, remembering the people that we lost and what happened on that day. So this Tohoku map breaks it down. I don't know, like, they do have some English here, but they have to have one that's in English, but I couldn't find one. But the map is beautifully done. It breaks down the areas, 1, 2, 3, based on what you guys want to do. Then breaks it down. This is the interesting thing with this map, with this brochure. It then breaks it down into season. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. Look at that. And then, of course, if you open it up, there's a map, which I think is something you can put in your office here. It's pretty big. It's really impressive in Japanese, all the details in it, but it shows you even the topography of Tohoku and all the train times. But this one's in Japanese, and I couldn't find one in English. Maybe they're just out of it. But this is worth picking up just to look at. I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, the paper's pretty good too. I'm putting it back because I don't need any more paper in my office. Hiroshima Peace Tourism. I was interested to see that they had a. You can scan that QR code. The city of Hiroshima has a kind of a self-guiding tour that you can take. I don't know if it's in English. I figure if it's online. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there's an English one here. Peace Tourism guides you to various locations around Hiroshima where you can see traces of the atomic bombing, learn about the history and culture that existed before the atomic bombing, and experiences the daily lives of local residents who are learning about the restoration of the city. Last time I was there, going around it, I know that the city wants to move on from what had happened. It's really hard to separate it from the tragedy, but I think 80 years is enough time, right? I can't take a break here. All right, 30-second break. Let me see if you have any questions. The next one looks like a really beautiful town that I've never been to before. That's all melted now. It's starting to get warm. It's starting to get warm. Yeah, you know what? I would throw it in the daimyo packages, but there's only EMS, and a 100-gram difference is like $5 brochure. If I can't throw anything in a daimyo package. I wish I could. The packages are back again. They're usually around, I don't know, between 5 and 750 grams. This is Kiso, Japan. Once again, like when I look at the map, I pick it up because the image is compelling, but I don't know where it is. Does anybody know where Kiso is? Let's look on the back here. There's not even a map in Japan where it is, because you have to assume that nobody knows where Kiso is, right? So how to get there? You have to take again, like it doesn't tell you the prefecture. You have to look here that it's in Nagano. And even then, like the only Nagano is like right there. Kisoji.com. It's a beautiful. I'm guessing you're going to see the kind of Japan that you want to see. I'm sure a lot of you might have seen these images on Instagram too. Beautiful. Nagano is one of the most beautiful prefectures in Japan. A lot of tradition, a lot of culture, a lot of snow, a lot of nature. Look at that. Wow. Probably only in the morning when there's nobody there. These streets, though, they're beautiful like this, but sometimes they allow cars on them because it is a local place, and then cars start to park in front of it and ruins it. So you got to get there when there's no cars. But already I'm starting to see, like, I can see myself visiting here for a day or two and really enjoying myself. They've got onsen, they've got good food, they've got festivals. So, and there's a really nice map here. But once again, like, I think every place should have and show you where in Japan is the location. Koyasan needs no introduction. This is a World Heritage Site. It's got so many old temples. It's famous for its Buddhist culture, and the birth of it. Isn't the birth of it? It's got a very long history for Buddhism here in Japan. Koyasan, not far. It's in Wakayama, not far away from Osaka. It's funny to see this English brochure here in Tokyo Station, but it tells you how to get there. I spent a few days there during the pandemic, actually. I think it was right 2020, and they'd asked me and Ruth and some others to go up there and experience it, and we had a good time. There's some live streams from there on this channel, but it shows you here from the station. You can pretty much walk everywhere, and you should definitely spend a night here at an old temple. You have to book in advance. They're quite popular, but they almost always speak English, and it's just one of those really amazing cultural experiences because of all the temples, and you feel immersed in Japanese culture at Koyasan. Wakayama is maybe one of the most untraveled prefectures, which is such a shame. The inlands of Setouchi, famous for its lemons and its bridges. I was just here. It's got the bicycle path where you can ride for a couple of days. Setouchi is also where Rabbit Island is, Okunoshima. It's a really pretty place. Yeah, I could see myself spending 2 or 3 days on the islands that connect. There's Imabari, famous for its towels and cotton goods. And Onomichi, I think that's, is that Okayama Prefecture? Hiroshima Prefecture. Right, Hiroshima, right. And there's Ehime and Hiroshima. It's the islands on the inland sea. There's the Wagyu. Everyone's got Wagyu beef there. That's pretty good. There's the art. Naoshima. So there's a ton of stuff to do in this region. I like the brochure. It tells you the stuff that you can eat. Food is so important, so there's food on every page, except this one. The Seto Islands. Excuse me. This takes us to Kagawa, which is the prefecture right next to there. This is famous. Kagawa is famous for a lot of stuff, including this park in Takamatsu. Can't remember the name of the park, but I think once again they should say that it is in Shikoku. But the thing is, like all these places have their tourism budget. This is the biggest issue with tourism in Japan here, and this is the stuff I've been working on this with some of the prefectures and towns that I talk to. It's like they all get their budgets and they don't want to promote anywhere else around them. They just want to promote their town. But by doing that and using their budget, nobody really knows where your town is to start off with, and it's hard really to give you the value if you're not kind of I don't know. Maybe it's greed, or maybe it's like they don't want to be seen as wasting taxpayer dollars. But a lot of organizations don't want to work together. The biggest example is the Sanin area, which is Shimane and Tottori, 2 places I love dearly. Sanin area is stacked with places, but Tottori and Shimane don't like each other too well. It's just a political thing. Maybe it goes back to centuries, warring clans. Maybe to the prime minister. There was a Shimane prime minister, and he helped to build up Shimane, but didn't give any money to Tottori. So it's kind of the corruption of anybody who becomes the prime minister of Japan. They kind of give back to their own prefecture, that they were their hometowns, with budgets and stuff. But there's that area is so stacked. Only recently are you starting to see brochures that is promoting the entire area. And without that, it's hard to see the attraction of just one little town. If they combined, it's about getting people from Tokyo, Kyoto to those areas. And if you don't combine your power, it's a really hard push to just do Yonago City when you could do the entire Sanin area. So hopefully, because I'm cheering for them. Yeah, I'm sure that you can Google the Tottori Shimane War. I don't know. It's like Ohio and Michigan, okay? So Kagawa is a beautiful, beautiful place. If you're in the noodles, I went here with my friend Ramen Adventure. Oh my gosh, a lot of stuff's going on in my mind. Cody from Ramen Guide Japan and Food Ranger Trevor and Ting. We drove across from Okayama. We did this trip. We drove across the bridge, and I drove them to my friend's Sanuki Udon place. I did a live stream there with Trevor. I think Ting was in it as well. And then the three of us drove all the way to Takamatsu, and we tried curry udon, and Food Ranger made a video on it, and it's on his channel. I think he got a couple million views. We ate a lot. So Kagawa is a beautiful place, and I was really glad that Trevor and Ting got a chance to go down there when they were visiting Japan. Looking forward to seeing them again if they come back. Nagasaki in Tokyo Station. This was interesting to find. I didn't see it in English though. But Nagasaki, again, it's in Kyushu, the southernmost of the four main islands on the west side. And the prefecture has this brochure, and I thought I would show it to you. Again, Nagasaki was highly influenced by the Dutch, so you see a lot of European-like building. In fact, Kirin beer originated in Nagasaki, I believe. There's the Dejima, which is the I don't know, what is it? The abandoned island, factory island. So that's a big draw. There's some penguins there. I guess there's an aquarium nearby. The night view of Nagasaki is something that is rivals Hakodate. So there's a lot to do there. Dejima, which has a lot of the history there. I love walking around Nagasaki. I can't wait to go back there. There's also Haus ten Bosch, which is the Netherlands, all put into a theme park, which is weird to the Dutch who come and visit. Like, what the heck, man? But it's pretty cool. I think they even hire people from Holland to go and work there. I thought this was interesting too. Kyushu was representing. Now, Oita, I guess they stole it from Thailand, but they're amazing too. I think that's good. They put on the map, I love this, right there, Oita, so you know where it is right away. And you see the steaming. I don't know if I would use this image, but I don't know. They should tell you why they picked this image on the front. Instead of amazing Oita, maybe like hot spring paradise. The steam I know this is Beppu, and it's the steam coming from the baths. And there's a lot of them because it's just a hot spring, awesome town. Just have a quick look. Okay, so it opens up into a map of Oita. It shows you some of the history. Oita's got connection again to European culture too, so you'll find some booze there. This is one of the only prefectures one of the only places in Kyushu that doesn't have a strong shochu culture. The sake culture is stronger than the shochu culture, from what I've been told. And then you have a pretty comprehensive map of Oita right there. And then there, I like this. They show it in how big it is in Kyushu. So it's on the northeast side. That's a pretty good map. And last but not least, let's keep it simple, Kumamoto. Boom. I like this because it looks like somebody had written the notes on there. And when something's handwritten, you sort of look at it a little bit more because it sticks out. They kept it simple. There's Kumamoto. And this is down in Kyushu. Again, I couldn't believe how much Kyushu information I found in Tokyo Station. There's the ramen, the castle, the gardens, the nature, the food. Aso-san, which is the volcano in the center, which is absolutely beautiful and active. You have some of the best hot springs, some of the most incredible natural scenery. Look at that up there. The wide Amakusa seas from a torii in the sky. Take a short boat ride to Cat Island. Is that in Kumamoto too? Really? So this is northern Kumamoto. They break it down by region. I like it. It looks like they've taken notes. I like that font that they used. It's a beautiful area. Map on the back. I like that. I just think that they need to have a map on the front. You need to show exactly where this place is. And I think that they should write Kumamoto in Japanese. I think Japanese, the location, a sign should always be in the brochures, but That's just me. All right, that's a lot of paper. I don't know if this is going to change in the next generation. I hate it when I go to a place, I'm at the place, and then they hand me a brochure. Because the last thing I want to do is to carry around another piece of paper when I could just like scan a QR code and then download it into a file or something. Right? That's just me. So I'm going to go take all these brochures back and put them back on the shelf. But let somebody else get some value out of it. It's almost no sakura taste. Kind of a disappointment. All right, I'll take some questions for the next couple of minutes because that's a lot of information for you to digest. I'm in front of the Marunouchi side of Tokyo Station, where just in this tower right here, that's where you can get all of that information. If you have a JR Rail Pass, you can pick it up inside of there. Everybody speaks English in there, and they can help make you the reservations. They were helping out some tourists with oversized luggage to book the proper Shinkansen so that they will have a smooth ride to their destination. Brochures back on the shelf. That's the way we do it. All right, looks like there's no questions. Really? It's paper straw. Gaga Goobers, paper straw. Hey mods, did I miss any good questions over while I was doing the talking? Because I was looking at the, if there's any good questions, if you can ask me from the people who chimed in, that might be helpful. Shout out to Joy, one of our moderators who was in Japan recently, sent me some Philippine biscuits. Thank you so much for that. We're gonna eat that tonight. And if you do wanna get a postcard, this month's postcard, what is the most ideal time to visit Tokyo? That's a tough one, but a good question. I think there's 4 seasons, so each season has a special, unique aspect to it. And that's the great thing about Japan. You really have to visit it 4 times, or maybe more, because within those seasons, there's certain seasons within them. But I would say now. Cherry blossoms are good, the weather's fair. Summer's really hot and humid, but the days are longer. And that's another reason why I like summer. It's a trade-off. It's so hot and humid, like a sauna outside. You sweat like crazy. It's really bad. But the days are longer. You know, the sun gets up really early, which is great if you have jet lag. It's like 3:45, it's bright, 4 o'clock in the morning. And then the sun goes down like 7:30, 7 o'clock. So you have much longer days. It was winter, I don't like it, not because it's cold, but because it's so dark. But the foods are different, and Japan is a place where seasonal foods are very important, so it's something you have to think about. Ooh, baby, that's a Frappuccino coming up here. I love summer. I don't care about the heat. I just like the longer days. But with food, I would say autumn, because autumn, the food is better. I don't know. Spring, there's some interesting foods in spring, but my favorite month might be May. May and October when there's no typhoon. Or no, September and May on the fringes. They're the best, by far. You're welcome, Rodney. Thanks for asking, buddy. All right, for everybody who's inspired by this channel, thank you. This is the post. Oh, hello.
Hi. Are you John from Only in Japan?
Yes.
Okay, I recognized you from afar. I didn't expect to see your live stream.
Oh, it's okay.
I don't mean to interrupt, yeah.
Hi, where are you from?
I'm from Singapore. I actually watched your
Oh, okay,
videos,
you can
so
say hi to everybody.
Hi. We're actually heading to Osaka in a few hours.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're leaving from here?
Yeah. So I watched one of your videos whereby you walked us through this area. That's why I wanted to come out from the station and actually take a look. Because usually I'm always underground.
All right.
Yeah. So it's a very busy place. Hi.
Hey. So how long have you been here?
We've been here for about 3 days.
3 days, okay.
Yeah, we are going to be here for about 17. So we are heading to Osaka and then heading to Kyoto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a card for you if you want.
Oh, okay. Sure.
See.
They got the sakura drink.
I don't know. It's not that good. I was surprised. This is kind of sweet. Here you go.
Oh, thank you. That's nice. Oh, you're everywhere. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a good trip.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
That was nice. It's easy to find me today because I'm just here. Yeah, so that's about it. That's all I wanted to say. If you do come to Japan, I think it's worth stopping in at the tourism place and taking a look at all of the different brochures that they have. Every time I go in there, I find information from a place that I have not visited before, and that's kind of neat. And I learned about my own town, about some of the stuff that they're going on, because they don't promote it very good. It's hard for the cities within Tokyo to promote what they're doing. Unless you go to the city office, you just don't know. Unless you talk to your neighbors, and they don't know. My neighbors don't talk to me much at all. Oh, there's a thump. Usually that's when the battery is going down. It's a road thing. All right, everybody, with that, hold on a second. And thanks for letting me know about the thumping. It's something with the road mics. I noticed that when I'm filming, these thumpings come up when the battery's low, but I wouldn't know because the battery shouldn't be low. I'd charge them up. Gotta tell a road about them. Oh, you like my shirt? LL Bean. I don't think they make it anymore. So I bought 4 of them, and I should have a good supply until 2025. Yeah. That's what men do. When we find a shirt that we like, we buy like 6 of them, and then we use them over the years. We put them away, and then we use them when we need it. We pull them out of the archives. So, some men do that. If I find a shirt that I like, and I don't care about fashion. I just want to have the same shirt then. I'm from the age of Beavis and Butthead, and they wore Metallica and AC/DC t-shirts every single day. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you wash it, or you have like 7 or 8 of them. Yeah. If you see this shirt at LL Bean, let me know because I want to buy more. They're light and comfortable, made of real cotton. All right, everybody, thanks so much for watching. I hope that this is informational. Today is the anniversary or the remembrance of what happened 13 years ago now, 12 years ago. And I was gonna go up to Iwate, but I have jobs to do here that I can't. I have commitments here, so I couldn't go up to Tohoku. But I'm looking forward maybe next year to going up to Tohoku for the anniversary, to remember what happened on that day, because it's just one that's like, I'll never forget it for the rest of my life. I've been, John Michael writes in here, have you been to Atami? I have. That's also, I think, if you're looking for an onsen town that's close to Tokyo, you can't go wrong with Atami. Everybody's going to Kusatsu. Atami's pretty impressive, okay? So you might want to consider going to Atami, and you have views of Mount Fuji in the area. Kusatsu's nice, but they had a bigger PR budget, and a lot of tourists are going there. Now, there's nothing wrong with Kusatsu, but Atami, I might you prefer it because it's not touristy, as touristy. It's domestic touristy. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for the questions. See you tomorrow.